Well, the multi-hyphenated Priyanka Chopra Jonas who packs in 72 hours in a day.
That's not true. I don't know why people think that.
Earlier it was 48, but now I think it's 72.
No, it's become much less actually, Pooja, from when you knew me.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
And for a girl who can just break any citadel of obstacles, I mean, is there something that you can do?
So many things. I can't cook. I can't even. It intimidates me so much when I go into kitchen because I see all these options and I'm like, अच्छा अंडा ही बना लेती हूँ, toaster में toast डाल देती हूँ, sandwich बन गया out. I can't cook. मेरे को सीखना है but.
That आप वो भी ace कर लेंगी. But for someone who has constantly reinvented herself, it's been what I've known you for 23 years. How do you do that? How do you manage to keep doing that time and time again?
I think you don't think about the big picture. Like, if that can be so daunting, right? If you say like, okay, I want to, like when we have ambitions, right? Like, I want to become, I want to say like, I want to buy this big car or I want to buy a watch, you know, how like you have this, if I do well, I'll do this thing. And then you have to like, if you think about the price tag of it, you're like, ooh, that's very expensive. I don't think I can afford it. But if I don't think about that and then just save a little bit every month, then eventually you turn around and you're like, I could buy that watch. So it's the same thing. I think my mentality is not thinking about what the future holds or what the big picture is, but kind of working towards how can I better myself from yesterday? Like, how can I do whatever I did, my performance, my show, as a human being, my choices, how can I make a better choice? How can I, you know, so I think that just keeps me going and it creates reinvention. Also, I get bored easily. I don't like repeating the same thing. I don't like, you know, whenever I do a character, you'll never see me like resting on my laurels or you know, saying that, all right, let me just do a few of these because it worked. I don't like safe spaces. I feel like there's no space for evolution then.
You don't like repeating yourself and you're someone, as I was talking to someone, they said, you know, Priyanka Chopra hashtag is guts. I mean, she's gutsy. No guts, no glory. Literally. For somebody who's been in the business for 22 years, struggled, broken some serious glass ceilings, what has been your biggest learning through the successes, through the failures, through the struggles? Because you've gone ahead on the basis of your own strength.
That consistency is key, and that you have to rely on yourself, not on others. And I'll elaborate on that a little bit more. I think for young people, especially for women, we are told since we are very young that, you know, if someone sees something in you, then you'll make it. That's completely inaccurate. You don't need anyone to see something in you. You have to look into the mirror and say, मुझे कुछ लगता है मैं ये कर लूँगी, ये मुझसे हो जाएगा. And then you go to the exam and you ace it. Not because your teacher said कि this girl is going to do well, but because you studied and you did a good job. So I think like, just stop looking for validation. Don't wait for someone to discover you. Don't wait for someone to tell you that you'll be great at this job. Figure out what your strength is and go for that. Not your weaknesses, your strengths.
Awesome. And now talking about strengths, Nadia Singh packs quite
a punch.
You saw
a few episodes?
Yes, I did.
Tell me what you thought.
I loved it and I loved her and I loved you in it. So I want to know how similar are Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Nadia Singh, because
oh, we are not similar. We look similar. Like, I love her wardrobe. I would wear everything Nadia wears because everything is Tom Ford and Valentino and Gucci. And like, I don't know why spies have such expensive clothes. For some reason, every spy wears expensive clothes and drives like Ferraris and fancy cars. Great, I'll take it. Very not close to me. I don't like driving. I like being driven. Or I will walk. But Nadia also, I don't think, has a sense of humor. Like, she's like so straight-faced and serious. I'm goofy, I'm funny. Nadia doesn't share her emotions. She's very isolated and she prefers that. I cannot be isolated. I love being surrounded by friends, family, people. I love chabar. I can talk to anyone. She's not a woman of too many words. So I think we're very different as people. I just want to look like her all the time.
And you do, you still look this.
That's why I'm wearing this red dress, because I want to dress like Nadia all the time. She's so chic.
Yeah, I mean, and so are you, my dear. But another thing, the baby girl comes home to mama's country home for the first time. How is motherhood treating you? And is it easy or is it tough given you and your husband's hectic schedules? Are you enjoying mamahood?
Yes, we both are very, very dedicated to her. She's at my mom's house right now with my mother, who's highly excited about Nani Ghar, and she's made like a little nursery in her house, and it's really sweet. It's the greatest gift of my life. I won't lie, Pooja. It's like, you know, I've done and achieved a lot of things, but when I look at her face and her eyes light up when I walk into a room. And when she's like upset that I'm leaving and I'm going to work and she needs me, there's nothing else. There's no other feeling. Like, I have half an hour in the middle of my hectic day. I will go back home, see her, show my face, and come back. And I remember my parents used to be like that because they were both working parents. And Nick and I are both like that. She's the greatest joy of our life. She comes with us everywhere. She's a best little traveler. She doesn't even jet lag. I was jet lagged and she wasn't jet lagged.
Awesome, awesome. And you know, you seem very, very settled in, you know, but you're also someone who's a global icon, who's also, when you went and started from scratch, the door was not even ajar. Now it's a little wide open. And you've constantly mentored girls and the South Asian community. Where do you think we are going to head out there? This is something you always wanted.
Oh, we're going to push the door down. I'm not stopping at just a little wedge. We're going to have a seat on the table. We are, and many of us, not just me, not just 4 or 5 that were given that position. I'm very grateful to be able to have a foothold in Hollywood where I have access to incredible people, where I have a credibility as an actor, as talent, to be able to, you know, take other people with me and say, hey, I know this amazing filmmaker, this is a great movie, Amazon, you should put it on your show, or hey, this actor is amazing, how can I connect them? My dream is to be able to see many, many leading actors as, you know, South Asian or brown that come from our community. I want to see women and especially filmmakers from India. We are one of the biggest film industries in the world, to be able to work in international cinema, to be able to, like, I don't know, be the showrunner of the next Citadel, or, you know, to be able to globalization because of streaming in entertainment is so wonderful because it's creating opportunity for a lot of people. But there are not many people who are seeking it. So here is me seeking opportunity for my community and saying, I would love to be able to see, and I will get there.
You will. Whatever Priyanka Chopra says, she does it. And I have been like witness to it.
5 years and hopefully we'll have an influx of Indians in Hollywood.
I know you will do it. But do we see you doing something here, a proverbial Desi girl?
I do want to. I'm obviously working on Zara, but between Katrina, Alia and me, you know, we're like really busy in probably the busiest phases of our lives. So we're trying to figure out when the right time to do it. It's probably going to happen top of next year.
If I was to ask you at 18, Priyanka Chopra would not have believed this, and what would that be?
I would not have believed I would be sitting here 22 years later with a career, and I'm still acting at 40 as a leading lady. I was told when I was very young, in my 20s actually, that once you leave your 20s, you know, heroes don't want to work with you, even if they are, you know, you're too old for heroes in your 30s, even though they are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. So I was specifically told by management, by people that I had, when I was like 20, 21, early time, the industry folk, you know, young ladki chahiye, ye thodi si she's older, like at 29, younger ladki lao. I would have never believed this, that I'm starting the beginning of my career in Hollywood at 40 as a leading lady.
Awesome way to go, and you'll always be a leading lady. Lastly,
thank you, darling.
What would be the hashtag if you were to describe yourself?
Hashtag, I don't know, hashtag, I'm still unfinished.
Anyways, thank you so much. Such a pleasure speaking to you, and more power, more glory.